For crying out loud, I don't know what it is lately with streamers, am I right? It's like literally they keep falling like bowling pins, one after another. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about this guy. You may know who he is, in which case, sorry, I may have just ruined one of your favorite creators, I suppose. But if you don't know who he is, Lacari is a gaming streamer, mostly popular on Twitch, the way I understand, because if you look at his YouTube channel, I mean, 37,000 subscribers is not like a small, like non-existent channel, but then again, this is not really what we are talking about, because on Twitch, he had a regular 1,500 to 2,000 people watching his live streams where he was playing games mostly. And he also was featured on massive platforms. Of course, he collaborated with, I believe, Ms. Kiv, Asmongold a few times, perhaps Emiru. So he was featured on, he was part of that section of gaming streamers that are very popular on Twitch. Now, I can't show you his Twitch, because he was perma-banned, ladies and gentlemen. Not only he was banned on Twitch, so if we try and open it, which I'm going to do right now for investigative, how do you pronounce it? Investigative professionalism. Lacari Twitch. There he is. So we click and boom, this channel is temporarily unavailable to the violation of Twitch's community guidelines or terms of service. So, what terms of service has he violated, you ask? It's bad. It's really bad. It's so bad that he was preemptively also banned on Kick. Preemptively. Because as you know, oftentimes when creators are banned on like Twitch or YouTube, they oftentimes go onto Kick, because usually Kick is more relaxed and it's a place where creators can rebuild, if you will, an audience. Well, Kick said, we don't have anything to do with this stuff. You're not welcome here. Preemptively banned. Right. What did he do? Let's check out Internet Anarchist.
In the world of live streaming, a career often takes years to build. It requires thousands of hours of dedication and a relentless grind to stand out and capture an audience. But whilst it can take a decade to build an empire on Twitch, we have witnessed time and time again that it only takes a single moment for it to all be destroyed. One slip up, one lapse in judgment, or even one forgotten notepad window, and the entire house of cards can come tumbling down. On the 22nd of January 2026, a popular Twitch streamer known as Lacari was live in front of his audience, doing what he has done for over a decade.
Over a decade, guys. Over a decade. I mean, I've been on the platforms, I'd say for 12 years almost. So this guy has been doing this almost as long as me. And what that means oftentimes is that the first few years you get nothing. It's just grind. It's just grind. And if you think it's easy just because he does gaming, whereas perhaps I do like researched content, like I used to do a lot more history than I do now, but I still do my history even now. Yeah, no, it still takes a lot of hours. We're talking about people having to stream like 8 to 10 hours every single day. It's not as easy as it sounds. It takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice. It's nothing compared to a regular 9-to-5 job. Those are 50 times harder than whatever the heck we do as content creators. But on the other hand, you would be surprised, it takes a lot of energy to do this, and consistency and commitment to do this for like 10 hours a day every single day. So he put a lot of work into this, and it's all gone.
He was playing League of Legends, entertaining thousands of viewers, and living the dream of being a mid to high tier streamer. Yeah. However, within 5 seconds, everything changed. While multitasking, he accidentally opened a notepad file that revealed something incredibly dark and possibly extremely illegal. This split-second moment wasn't just something embarrassing, but something that would set the internet ablaze and completely destroy his career and possibly even his life.
It has to do with kids, guys. It has to do with children, allegedly. I really think on the second part of this video, we're going to dive into the psychological aspects of this, not because I'm a psychologist, but simply because I've been on this planet for longer than him and Internet Anarchist. And one thing that I believe is the problem, of course, in this case, he's allegedly, for what we could see, I don't know if I could say lawyers and what not, but for what I can see, it's one of those monsters. No justification, nothing. But a lot of the times, a lot of these streamers, they destroy their lives. Why? Because it's never enough. What they have is never enough. And they want more, and they want more, and they want more. They don't really understand how lucky they are. This guy had the perfect life. Like, he was paid a lot of money, which now it's all gone. All his income, sources of income, vanished. He was making a lot of money doing what? Playing video games. That's like the perfect life. But why did you need this stuff? They don't really understand it until they lose it all, isn't it?
And if it wasn't for the file opening in the first place that did it, it was his reaction afterwards. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into the Lacari situation, how a 5-second slip-up destroyed his career, and why this may have been hidden in plain sight the entire time.
Exactly, so it's not a 5-second... So the 5-second slip-up is the, what do you call it, the needle that broke the camel's back and basically unleashed Pandora's box. But probably this is something that he has been doing, collecting these kind of files, who knows, maybe for years. So had he worked on himself and possibly sought counseling in his own privacy and just stopped this nonsense, that probably he just got caught now, but he constantly kept rolling those dice. Think about it. So the 5-second slip-up is just one of those millions of times that he streamed after downloading some nonsense. This is the one time that the dice was a 1 on a D20, right? But this probably could have happened a while ago anyways.
But to fully understand the depth and depravity of the situation, we first have to learn about who Lacari is in the first place. Prior to the recent events that transpired, Lacari was a celebrated figure in the gaming world. His journey began over a decade ago in 2012, a time when the online streaming world was only just becoming a thing. It's also worth noting that Lacari was by no means an overnight success. Like many, he started small and stayed small for over 5 years, as it wasn't until 2017 when he truly began to carve out his own space in the online world.
I had no idea who he was prior to all of this, by the way.
Not just as a gamer, but as a personality. Lacari was known as a speedrunner and a highly skilled player across a variety of difficult and competitive games, such as League of Legends, Genshin Impact, and Tekken. Over the next few years, Lacari didn't simply play games, but he began networking with other more established streamers. Throughout the 2020s, Lacari had established himself as a mid to high tier streamer on Twitch, with his channel averaging around 1,500 concurrent viewers, with peak viewership going above 10,000 viewers during major stream.
That is insane. You know how many I get on Twitch? Well, on YouTube and on Rumble, I get better numbers. But on Twitch, my average is probably 20, which is why you should totally come. There we go. If you are one of his former people that watching his streams of playing games, and now you're like, oh, damn it. Every evening I was watching, but now this guy's a freaking monster, so I'm not going to be able to watch him anymore. Who should I watch? How about me? So click the link in the description. And let's make it 25, guys. Not 20 people watching, 25. Let's go. Come on.
He also successfully integrated himself into one of the most powerful social circles in the Twitch streaming industry, the Austin-based streamer ecosystem. He became a regular guest on Asmongold's streams and entered the orbit of major creators like Mizkif and Esfand. These collaborations,
I can't stand Mizkif, by the way,
enabled Lacari to cement his status as not just a random streamer, but as a genuine friend and collaborator of the gaming organization OTK.
Not a member, by the way. Not a member as far as I know.
The association was strong enough that by May 2023, during a Mizkif stream, Lacari jokingly unofficially joined OTK in chat, solidifying his place in the group's lore.
I'll join, pay me. Okay, Lacari's on OTK. That's the announcement, chat. Lax on OTK. That's it. That was the announcement for today. Lax on OTK. That was easy. All right, Lax, I'll pay him. That was easy. He's on. He did it.
In the extremely volatile world of content creation, this was truly the sweet spot. He was essentially living the dream, playing video games for a living and earning lucrative income, yet without the suffocating levels of fame that makes a normal life impossible. He had the friends, the clout, and the stability that millions of aspiring creators chase, but often never catch. He had spent 15 years building the perfect life. but it would only take 5 seconds to undo all that work. The 22nd of January 2026 started just like any other day for Lacari. He was live on Twitch grinding League of Legends just as he had done countless times before. To the thousands watching, it was just another stream from their favorite streamer. A moment during this stream, however, would completely change everything. While attempting to multitask, Lacari opened Windows Notepad and revealed something deeply disturbing. In the past, this action would have been harmless. However, a recent Windows update has introduced a new feature that displays a history of...
So this is censored, by the way, because of course it should be. Here there is a link, and if you click, but if you retype that link, it's going to take you to all the awful material. So it's right to censor it. I would strongly suggest you not to look for it, because apparently people have already done it, they've already checked it. Now let law enforcement deal with it. Don't F up your history and stuff like that, just don't.
Recently opened files and tabs directly within the Notepad app. As the Notepad window popped up on the stream, it didn't just show a blank page. For a few seconds, it displayed a list of URLs and file names that Lacari had previously accessed.
Let me at least wait to the list of champions that I like.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Did you see? He knows what it is. Expression. Facial expression.
Fuck?
For obvious reasons, I can't show exactly what the notepad contained on YouTube, but it contained file names and links with suggestive words involving minors, animals, and other clearly illegal themes. The reaction was instantaneous. While Lacari continued to sit in his chair acting like nothing had happened, the clip was already being captured, cut, and uploaded onto pages such as r/livestreamfail, Twitter, and even Kiwi Farms.
Yeah, of course, once online, always online. And I'm surprised he didn't nuke the stream, to be honest. He stayed streaming, right? Because I looked into this already. I think he stayed streaming for another 2 hours. Why are you not subscribed? What do you need me to do? Dress up like Vega to get you to subscribe? Subscribe.
Within minutes of the clip being spread, internet detectives began investigating the links visible and confirmed the nature of the material. What they found was said to be extremely disturbing, to say the least. When watching the clip closely, there is a distinct split second where Lacari seems to realize the gravity of the mistake. His expression shifts rapidly as he looks at the notepad window.
So he knows what it contains. So the idea of, oh, it's a virus, it just opened and downloaded itself on the computer, well then why did you react like this? You know exactly what that is. At least, once again, allegedly. My own opinion here.
And the contents within, followed by a moment of pure silent panic where the realization probably hit that he may have just ruined his life. Yet, in a move that baffled everyone watching, he didn't end the stream. Despite the visible panic and the chat beginning to spiral, Lacari continued streaming, choosing to stay live and respond to the situation in real time.
I think personally the reason why he did that is because he probably thought that, oh, if I nuke the stream right now, I'm gonna look guilty. Instead, if I stay and pretend it's nothing, and he probably thought he could reason his way out of it, because a lot of these people, they overestimate themselves. He thinks he's the shit. He thinks he knows better. He thinks, nah, I can deal with it. Instead, he dug his own grave even more, because some of the stuff he said was even more condemning. Because, of course, that was the wrong... Not that I care, to be honest. In fact, it's better that he made the wrong choice. But I'm just looking at this retrospectively, and people might be asking, but why did he do that? I personally think that's the reason. He probably thought if he nuked the stream, he may have appeared more guilty. But the reality is that by addressing this and trying to come up with out of the blue answers, and it's just, he made it 10 times worse, because he started saying stuff, then now you're admitting to crimes. What are you doing, clown?
This decision would unfold about as well as you would expect, turning into a complete disaster. During the stream, Lacari attempted to laugh off the situation as if it was a minor misunderstanding, pun intended. His chat, however, were no longer interested in the game, but instead were fixated on the suspicious notepad file, specifically one tab that had been spotted labeled 1500 JBT files. According to the livestream fail subreddit, JBT stood for jailbait teens.
I did not know that. Jailbait. Oh, goodness gracious.
Lacari's response to the whole situation was a frantic series of excuses that only served to incriminate himself even further. His initial defense was to claim that someone had linked the file in his chat, implying that he was a victim of a bad click. This explanation fell apart instantly under scrutiny, as it failed to explain why he had seemingly saved the content into a dedicated notepad file on his hard drive.
Exactly, that shows that you're doing it purposely. It wasn't a download thing. That's insane.
Let alone one with such a specific and incriminating file name. Once Lacari realized that narrative wasn't going to convince his audience, he pivoted to a second, even less believable excuse. He claimed the file had automatically downloaded while he was browsing the web.
Did I not deny that I didn't download shit? I didn't know what was in there.
Don't be sad that your career is over. Be happy that IT happened. XQCL. Don't be sad that your career is over. Be happy that IT happened. XQCL. Jesse vindicated. Jesse vindicated. Jesse vindicated.
How does it end up there? Okay, let me explain what happened. All right, I was surfing a site. Okay, the shit got downloaded. I didn't trigger a download, it just got downloaded. I opened up the text document. I saw what was in it. I deleted the text document.
It wouldn't open if it was deleted. You see, that's why these excuses don't work, because he's coming up under panic, under pressure, with excuses, and that's excellent for us. That is actually really good for, it's really bad for him, but it's really good for us as audience or people that just want this space to be clean without people like this. And so mask off, but now he's just digging his own grave, because yeah, he didn't double if it's deleted, it wouldn't appear, it wouldn't open.
I deleted it, but the problem with Windows 11 is that even if you delete the text document, it apparently still stays there. So it was still there after I deleted it. I've told you guys 1,000 times that's what happened. Dude, I'm sorry. I have a fucking 3 terabytes of fucking hentai on my fucking hard drive, bro.
See, he just said he has 3 terabytes of hentai on his... Okay. See, that's what I mean. You know, instead of... How about... Just a little piece of advice. Free. If you see that you're downloading 3 terabytes of hentai on your computer, how about you ditch it and you find a good woman? No, seriously, I mean it. I think that would fix it all. And I don't mean sleeping around. I mean I think, personally, no expert here, but it would fix your head, your mind. Just get into a good, stable, real relationship. And then you don't need 3 terabytes. Are you sure you want to say that online? Doesn't he live in Texas? I was reading the laws in Texas when it comes to that kind of stuff that comes from Japan. Really, this guy's further incriminating himself.
A lot. Sometimes you go to a site, some shit downloads on your shit, you don't fucking want it, you fucking delete it, and that's just what happened, man. Okay? That's what happened. I'm sorry, all right? I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but that's what happened. Dude, let's just move the fuck on, please.
Yeah, good luck
As
with
his
that.
audience immediately pointed out, if modern web browsers were silently auto-downloading text files full of illegal URLs without user consent, it would be a global cybersecurity crisis, not an isolated glitch on one streamer's PC.
Not only that, but I would like to say, let's say for a moment that were the case, then it still is on you. Why are you browsing these websites with the same computer that you use for where you go live? And I'm not trying to say that it's okay to download this stuff, it's not. But I'm saying, imagine that you're looking at legal stuff. Okay, legal, I don't even know why I did this. Legal stuff. Imagine you're looking at legal stuff that is featuring adults. But, right, and no one is judging you for that. It's your personal privacy, who cares? But then, on one of these websites, someone sneakily added illegal stuff that now self-downloads. If that's the case, then it is your responsibility as someone who uses this machine to go live to thousands of people, some of whom may not be of age who are watching you, to not even risk it. He says it as if it's a matter of fact. probably not even real. But if it is a matter of fact, and you know for a fact that sometimes when you browse and gather all these 3 terabytes of whatever the hell that it is in that PC, on that PC, that probably the FBI is gonna seize now. If you know that the stuff downloads automatically that could be illegal, then you're literally risking exposing illegal stuff to an audience. So you're being reckless. At the minimum, you're being reckless by using the same computer. But that's even beyond the point anyways, because once again, we know that's not what happened. Most likely, I'm going to say for the lawyers, most likely, it appears to me, given the data and his facial reaction and the fact that he's changing excuses every 15 seconds, that what he's saying is nonsense. It's just a lie.
Whilst this already seemed like rock bottom, Lacari would only continue to dig his grave when the chat pressured him to open his recent files list in Notepad again to prove his innocence. Lacari agreed, likely hoping to show the incriminating files were gone. Instead, he revealed a screen.
New text document, oh my gosh, what an idiot. He opened 3 new text documents in a row in order to push down the list. We could see it, clown.
That looked like a panic-induced cover-up. The suspicious document was still there, but it was now buried under a list of freshly created empty files named New Text Document. And one of the files involving JBT was also somehow missing.
That's what happens when you overestimate your mental abilities, which is what is happening here. He thinks, oh, I know how to do it, I know how to fix it, I'm smart, I'll do this, and they will never know. But you don't know shit, clearly.
Fat for Fun? Fat for Fun is Thai site.
The internet immediately saw right through it, with viewers on Reddit mocking the attempt of covering it up. As one user put it, he was trying to hide stuff and still effed up. To make matters even worse, a viewer suggested that if the file had truly been deleted, it wouldn't open. Lacari, trying to prove it was gone,
I mean, everyone knows that, by the way,
clicked the file and it opened, proving live on stream that the material was still sitting on his hard drive.
Click couples and it won't open if it's deleted. Okay, well, I 100% fucking deleted it, so it shouldn't open, right?
It's gonna open.
It opened, what?
By this point, the atmosphere in his stream had turned hostile. His moderation team, the people responsible for protecting him, began to turn on him. They stopped deleting comments and banning
as they should
users, allowing the chat to be overrun with text-to-speech donations, calling him a PDF file.
Pedophile, pedophile,
oh my
pedophile, 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 pedophile.
The total collapse of his support system was cemented when one of his own moderators resigned mid-stream, typing a message that read, "End your stream, dude, this isn't funny. This isn't a joke or something you can laugh off. I hoped that this somehow was a mistake or a virus, but it's looking real bad. You need to get help. I'm unmodding myself and unassociating with you. Peace." In the middle of everything falling apart, Lacari was clearly panicking and totally lost. He actually turned to Grok, Elon Musk's AI chatbot, and asked it live on stream whether possessing hentai was even legal in Texas. And he did this right in front of the same people already accusing him of having illegal stuff. It was next level self-destruction. The guy basically jumped straight into a hole and kept digging.
Yeah, he basically admitted to a crime. Is
having hentai on your PC in Texas illegal, Brock? 43K? And that's if they think it's like, oh my.
Probably if it's like lolly stuff, I guess.
While Lacari was fighting a losing battle in his own chat, the wider internet was already dissecting his excuses. Fellow streamer Quinn69 took it upon himself to test Lacari's claims technically. He attempted to replicate the glitch in his own stream to see if a deleted notepad file would still appear in the recent tab. Upon opening the program, he was able to debunk Lacari's excuse almost immediately, proving that the file's persistence meant that it hadn't been simply auto-downloaded and deleted as claimed.
Delete. Okay.
Doesn't open. Yeah, Notepad cannot find the... Of course, that's how it works. Every file works like that.
No, there. I mean,
gonna be honest.
Simultaneously, the internet began digging into Lacari's history, and what they found makes it seem like Lacari may have been hiding his alleged preferences in plain sight. They resurfaced old clips that suddenly took on a much...
It's the same thing that happened with Vosh. Do you remember that? The whole scandal with Vosh as he was downloading like Lolly with horses. I can't believe I said that in a row, like those two words in a row, but when you, yeah, Vosh, anyways. And he's still going, though. He had no consequences. He wasn't banned, but whatever. I guess maybe it wasn't I haven't got a clue. Anyways, then they started looking and they found old clips where Vosh was like saying, oh no, PDF file, it's not bad for children. Actually, children can, I don't think it's that bad of a thing. Like he was trying to justify it. Yeah, of course. Then 2 + 2, you put the two together. Now it has a completely different light, although then again, even back in period, personally, someone says that.
Darker context. One notable instance was a lie detector segment where Lacari jokingly admitted to liking lolly content. Whilst this moment was originally played for laughs, it is now being scrutinized as a disturbing admission of guilt.
Obviously, I mean, even after he said 43k if they found in Texas, I guess that's the fine, and he goes like, oh my god, what does that mean? It means he has a lot of lowly stuff in his hard drive. That's what it's an admission of guilt on top of the links, on top of this.
Do you like lollies?
Yes.
Brother, the answer to that is no. What on earth?
No! But not like that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. What does that even mean?
I mean, his shit's spiked, but I think it's just But the most damaging blows to Lacari's reputation came from his own circle, the Austin streamer ecosystem, which, as we discussed earlier, played a major role in his rise. During the stream, Lacari attempted to drag Asmongold into the controversy, claiming he had messaged him to simply keep that kind of stuff on another PC.
Yeah, so I watched Asmongold explaining this. He said this when Asmongold thought that it was just regular prawn. Which, yeah, that's correct. If you're gonna watch prawn, keep it on another PC, legal prawn. But then Asmongold said after he found out that what he actually was, then he's like, well, no, then this doesn't apply. So let's not try to drag Asmongold into this because he has nothing to do. He qualified it.
Asmon messaged me, said, bro, you need a separate PC for that stuff. Oh my god.
Asmongold immediately took to Twitter to clarify his statement, writing that he had only seen a censored version of the clip and had no idea of the depravity of the actual files when he made the comment. He then went on to distance himself and his organization, OTK, from Lacari on stream, stating that Lacari was never an official member of OTK and was merely a friend of the group, and that they had nothing to do with his actions.
Day before yesterday, we did a podcast with him. And like last night, I was like, oh, we need to for sure upload this. But now I'm looking at what happened. I'm like, oh, maybe not, right? Why does OTK have so much drama? Shut the f up. Lacari was never even in OTK. He was just one of our friends. Like, what are you talking about? OTK, you're going to drag OTK.
Can you imagine that, though? Lacari was getting the massive exposure on a podcast with him, and he lost all of it. So what you can learn from this, I think 99% of us are normal in here, but if there is that 1%, that 0.3% that have the similar types of, let's say, desires as allegedly Lacari, maybe look into this and just don't. See what happens. Look at this. You know, with the Chris Hansen thing, when they show you what happens if you F around? If you F around, you ruin your life completely like this. Someone who had everything they could ever wanted. Money, fame, popularity, connections. Probably women at this point, or maybe not, I don't know. But whatever. Guys, whatever the heck he's into. Who knows? But he had to F it up because he couldn't control these. And just seek help. But don't do anything. And then you can keep your amazing life. It's really that simple. Let's go.
Candidates, we don't have anything to do with this. I guess like probably there's gonna be like 50,000 people are gonna come in and chat. People are associating you with friends with Tecton Lacari because you're part of it. Well, I mean, if he gets investigated, they're gonna find out all of his links, and so I say, you know what?
Good.
I welcome that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. I have nothing to do with it. So why would I be worried? Like,
Exactly.
I'm gonna be real. Like, the shit just really stresses me out, man. It sucks.
It is a heavy topic, isn't it?
It does. It really sucks. Fuck. You know, like, I don't know what else to say. Right? I mean, like, honestly, it does. Like, I don't really. Fuck. It's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. Like, and I don't want to get involved in it. I don't want to make.
Of course.
I'm gonna be real, guys. I've already got one defamation lawsuit in the chamber. I don't need to be double barreling this shit. Okay.
As a final measure, Asmongold also announced the cancellation of an upcoming podcast episode that was featuring Lacari.
There's gonna be probably a lot
Yeah,
of
he
people
has
that will
to.
come in the chat and they want me to talk about the Lacari stuff. Obviously, I think it's really weird and bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any decisions and judgments for a legal reason.
Makes sense.
All I'm saying is that I think that if there needs to be an investigation, I hope there is one,
Yeah.
and I don't want to have anything to fucking do with it.
Of course.
I'll tell you that.
Of course.
And also, we had Lacari on the podcast a couple of days ago. Safe to say, Allcraft is not going to come out this week. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. That's it.
Correct.
Mizkif, another central figure in the group, took an even more aggressive stance against Lacari, threatening to sue Lacari for falsely claiming Mizkif sent him the files.
Wow.
Why would you stream it?
Actually, Mizkif linked it to me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice. That is absolutely defamation, and I will be suing you for that.
Ghost.
No, let me tell you this much. I hate Mizkif, okay? Oh, sorry, I'm covering him. I hate Mizkif. I can't stand him. But if what Lacari did now, if it's true, then I hope he goes down with him. Burn them to the ground. But if it's false, like Mizkif is clearly stating here, then I have to side with Mizkif even though I hate his guts. Because just because I hate him, it doesn't mean that now I'm going to be okay with Lacari trying to be like, oh, actually Mizkif sent me that. I mean, that's really next level disgusting at that point. But I guess we'll find out if it's true, because there's going to be an investigation. We'll see.
Put those. Okay. First off, you're a fucking retard.
Idiots.
Because the files weren't on my PC.
You literally just called me a pedophile. If you don't think I'm suing you, Lacari, for everything you just have, you're fucking out of your mind. That's insane what you just said. Insane.
That is crazy.
That you just fucking called me a pedophile.
He also went a step further, threatening to pull the internet logs from the time they lived together to prove his own innocence and further incriminate Lacari.
He
What if he
should.
was telling that stuff when he lived with you? You gotta report him yourself? Bro, I really hope that's not the case, man. I will take whatever action's needed. Tomorrow I'm gonna call AT&T.
Other major
Yep.
streamers, including Soda Poppin', also addressed the situation live, expressing disgust and completely distancing themselves from their former peer.
Insane. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, we woke up, just a couple Reddit threads. Vicky was like, hey, have you seen LSF? I'm like, no, what's going on? Lacari. What'd Lacari do? I was like, oh man, top LSF post. Ooh, this looks awful. And then I scrolled down, I'm like, another one. Wait, another one. How much content did this guy put out while being like outed as potentially a file? I mean, fuck. It's looking like pedophilia. Or at least the notepad. And they just scrolling. And the thing is, he streamed the whole thing. He actually dug a hole straight down to like China, fucking Lolly Town. Actually just kept digging. Crazy.
The final nail in the coffin came from the YouTube commentary community, when Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical, released a video covering the situation, titled, "This Twitch streamer situation
Final nail in the coffin when someone with that kind of range
is disgusting," where he brought the situation to the attention of mainstream YouTube audiences.
The links are censored there, but apparently a lot of people have taken the plunge into looking up a lot of what was revealed here through the Lacari leaks, and what they have found is
the Lacari
beyond
leaks.
heinous. Like, this is some evil shit we're talking about here. And after this happened, his stream was calling him out on it, and most people expected him to end the stream, to like hide the evidence, nuke it, basically banish it to the Shadow Realm and hope that people didn't have enough time to dig into it. Lacari, on the other hand, cooked up a different kind of scheme. He streamed for multiple hours after this happened, and just fucking face-tanked everybody that was digging into it, and all the people that were rightfully calling him out for how deplorable the shit they found in there was.
Charlie concluded the video stating,
"It does not look good. This looks f***ing awful."
Yeah.
The consequences of the stream went far beyond embarrassment or the loss of his social circle. Lacari was banned from Twitch, stripping him of his primary income source and the audience he had spent over a decade building. He was also preemptively banned from Kick, which usually acts as a safe haven for banned streamers. To be honest, it's not looking good for Lacari.
Yeah, absolutely. That's insane. And you know what? He made a post on X. I want to show you that right now. Lacari. Unless he deleted it. I don't know. We'll see. Lacari, there he is. He pinned it, didn't he? Yes, he pinned it. Because he keeps speaking. He can't keep his mouth shut. So, he says, during my last stream, I opened Notepad, which revealed a link. The list in the link included the title that suggested child SA material further down. I have never consumed this type of content, nor do I think it's acceptable. So he says. I decided to keep streaming in an effort to downplay the severity of the situation, which was deceptive. This was a mistake that I deeply regret and apologize for. How about well, he can't admit that he downloaded it, I guess. The link gave access to a material for everyone to see. This is serious and harmful. I recognize that trivializing a material on stream is not okay and can lead to real harm. It's my responsibility to provide a safe space. That's what I was saying. For my community and peers, in which I failed to do. Yes, you did. I'm taking real steps to change my ways. See, that's what I mean. Now, I don't know if this was written with the help of AI, but this looks like a admission of guilt. Change your ways? I thought you didn't do it intentionally. I've admitted myself into a prawn addiction recovery program that will last 30 days. 30 days. During this time, I'll be able to work out there while also receiving professional therapy and treatment for my addiction. Browsing a anti and prawn website as an escape has been a serious problem for as long as I can remember. This treatment will come with an indefinite hiatus to my live streams to allow myself to focus on recovery so I can hopefully contribute a net positive to society. Now, of course, this is 2.5 million clicks, and people are not it's not enough for people. Now, I've read what people said here, and of course, they're like, what are you on about? First and foremost, don't put us, like, prawn addiction is one thing, really bad, but that's different from the kind of links that were shown. But I do want to say one thing, though, because there are a lot of people here that are saying off yourself, and that kind of stuff, or like you belong in prison for 50 years. Yeah, the prison stuff, I'll leave it to the authorities. They need to go and check this out, and I don't exactly know what the laws are when it comes to owning this kind of stuff in your PC. I don't actually know. I don't particularly care, but I do care that the law, the authorities will look into this and see it. Whatever it is, I don't know if it is 50 years, I don't know if it's 30 years, I don't know if it's 10 years, I haven't got a clue. Whatever the appropriate punishment is from a legal perspective, he should get that. However, the people that say off yourself, it's over, no, you don't do that. Personally, as a Christian, I hope that he comes to Jesus, that he repents, and then that he can, understand and get away from sin. So I don't want him, if you watch this, Lacari, I don't want you to end yourself. I'm at the very end of the stream, that's why of the video, that's why I wasn't responding.
Okay.
I just wanted to finish it. Okay, ciao. I don't want you to end yourself. I don't want you to do that. Don't do that. But you really need to come to Jesus, my friend. My friend hypothetical. You really need to come to Jesus, and you need to change your life around. Turn your life around. And that's that, guys. Sad story, really. I just wish people didn't do this kind of stuff. Goodness gracious. Thank you for watching. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.